This video is brought to you by Draeger's Classics.
Hi, I'm Jerry Draeger, Draeger's International Classic Sales in Seattle, Washington. We're here at Draeger's Clubhouse behind our new mural we just put up. It's kind of a fun thing, and I hope you, if you're in the area, you come down and see it, or even bring your car by and put it in front and take a photo of it. But that's not why I'm here to talk to you right now. I'm here to talk to you about a very nice 64 1/2 Mustang. Now I got to tell you, I've had several Mustang convertibles that are 64 1/2s, and I always look for different things on them to make sure they're all there and complete, and a lot of them aren't. They don't have the correct hoods on them anymore and all that. But what I'm here to tell you, this car, I only found two things that weren't correct on it. One, it's got a red top on it, which really looks good on this car, and the other fact that it's got 65, 66 carpets in it, and the toe piece, or where your foot would lay against the tunnel, has a piece of vinyl going up on the 65 and 66s. But on the 64s, they didn't have that. And other than that, everything else looks great. Had one guy say, well, yeah, but that horse on the hood there, that's not correct. Well, that's an aftermarket, but I did find it in the book when I was, I've never seen one of those horses before. But I gotta tell you, it's a neat little piece, and I think I'll just leave it on there. This car is all correct. It came out of a private collection. It had been stored. It was the wife's car. When I say stored, they put it in one of those igloos, or whatever you want to call it, you know, the thing you drive in and zip it all up and put the air on it so it stays in there. And so it's been stored for years. They owned this car for many, many years. And I got to tell you, got it out. They went through it, new wheel cylinders all the way around, new master cylinder, gas tank. I mean, this thing has been gone over. It's all service and safety check. And it's just a super nice car. The paint's very nice on it. And I got to tell you, it runs and drives great. It's got a 260 in it. It's automatic. It's got power steering on it, power top. So, you know, it's got good options on it that you want. And I want to tell you, I think you'll be impressed with this car. You'll really like how straight this is down the sides. This car is just super straight. I did find a chip right there, but and there might be a mark there. Well, there's a little mark right there too. I'm not sure what it is. It didn't come off. But, I mean, there's just hardly anything in this thing. It all looks beautiful. You got the big wire spinner hubcaps on here, the thick ones, so they come out here wide, which was only, I think, 64 1/2. Had those wide ones like that. All this looks real good in here. And these windows crank up good. If it was lubed a little bit, it'd even be better, but, you know, I don't know if you need to do that or not. And, of course, the door closes just fine. You can see, and it's all this is just like, I mean, this car looks brand new. You know, some of this, it just rubs off. So, you know, I mean, all this across here, down here, it's all beautiful. I mean, this car, I can't say enough good about how nice this car is. This is just one of those cars that you just won't find very often, and being an early Mustang, this is a highly collectible Mustang. Now the front of this Mustang, it's beautiful. All the hood and everything, you won't find any scratches or chips in the paint. Everything, I mean, this all looks good underneath here. Everything looks really nice. This bumper looks good. This piece here looks all real good. The horse in here looks good. All the front across here, all this looks good. Now I want to tell you what's really neat about this car that you'll find. It's a 64 1/2. And so what does that mean? Well, this car came out early. It's a very early one, too. I think the 5th of April. They didn't introduce them till the 25th of April at the World's Fair. So this car is still all correct on everything, as I told you in the introduction on it. Now, it's got this piece here on the hood. First thing I look for on a 64 1/2, see if it has that. And then this piece down here on both sides, it's got to have a bevel in it. And if it doesn't, it's the wrong piece. And there's a lot of stuff underneath the hood here we have to show you. that makes a difference on it. So I think you'll find that this car is outstanding. To open up the hood on here, you reach down here low underneath the grill and lift it up, and that's your 260 in there. When I opened up the hood on this Mustang, I was surprised to see these blue valve covers and air cleaner. I've had more 289s, and the 289s are black engine with gold valve covers and gold air cleaner. So I thought, well, this is wrong, we're going to have to paint them. But this is correct for a 260 to have the blue valve covers and air cleaner on a 260 engine. So that's all correct. Let's take a look underneath here, see what we can find. And we have a 2-barrel underneath here. And we got a hose on here. I just want to take that off so you can see it. It's stock carb on here. And I can't always get those on real fast, but I seem to do okay there. Oh, I was going to show you one other thing on here that I noticed. This tab right down in here, most of the time those tabs are gone. They're bolted on. That's the only thing that gives you any indication what the engine is on there. Notice the generator on here. This is 64.5. It has this big generator on here with this rubber cover on here. You don't find it. A lot of times these have been changed and stuff. The other thing that's interesting, the power steering. It has a different power steering than what you'll see on most of them. So that is fine that way. And you can look back here, we have power brakes, and it's got a brand new master cylinder on it, so that is all new. And the other thing I want to show you, I mean, I look down here, this looks like a brand new fuel filter down there, and of course the oil filter is new because we just had it changed. But a 64.5 has these horns on it. It's the only one, 64.5. These horns are hard to come by, but this thing's never been played with. Both horns are there just like they're supposed to be. I want to tell you, this is really a nice car. I mean, look at this underside, how nice that is. I see a little tarnish up in here and stuff, but basically this car has been well maintained and well taken care of. Really hard to find one this nice anywhere. I would tell you this side here, the passenger side is beautiful on this car. However, as I went across the front end, I missed a couple of spots. There's a chip right here that Andrew pointed out to me, and I just missed it. I mean, it's hard to see in this white paint when it's been brush touched whether you see anything, because everything looks really good on this car all the way along. And I forgot to mention this on the other side too. These emblems on here are correct. They're shorter than the standard Mustang emblem. The standard one would probably go out to there, and I measured them to make sure that they are the correct emblem and everything. So, I mean, this car is beautiful. All this again is all real nice through here. I thought there was a spot there. It was reflection. I didn't want to make sure I got it if there was a bad spot somewhere. Because, you know, it's just, there's so few and so little in this car. I mean, it's just about perfect. And these doors, of course, same thing. These windows roll up good. And I forgot to roll up the far window over there, but it works just as good. Sorry about that. I like to roll them all up and everything. There's some marks right here on this thing, and there's a little bit of spot right there. That's one of those things you don't find much at issue on this car. And again, the doors close nice, as you can see. I see spots sometimes, but they just wipe off. They're just pieces of dust out of the air. All this looks good. Convertible top here, it's all real nice. It all looks real good along here. Andrew might find something that I missed, but you know, sometimes it takes two sets of eyes. I mean, the drain vents underneath here are where they're supposed to be. There's no rubber boot on that one, but it's all correct. This all looks real good. You're ready to go down Route 66. You got your luggage rack on the back here. You can put your suitcases up there. Wouldn't this be a fun car to take on Route 66? All this looks real good. All looks really nice. All this, your backup lights here. This chrome here looks good. You can see that Frank replaced all this in here. This is all like brand new. Let's look inside the trunk here. You can see in here, I mean, we have the decals on here. I mean, this trunk underside looks really, really nice. We got a spare tire cover on here. And look at that tire, it's brand new. It's brand new, look at there. Let's look and see what's down underneath here. Oh, this is 64 and a half. This is another thing that's different on a 64 and a half is the tie down. You can see that tire's brand new. We got the jack. See what I was talking about on the 64 and a half? It has this bolt like this and it's slotted in here where the 65, 66s, they got a bend in the rod and it goes through a loop. So that is different. And of course you see we got our jack and everything. And this all looks real good. I mean, there should be a rubber plug here. Could be at 64 and a half they didn't put the rubber plug in. But at 65, 66s, I know they got a rubber plug there. So that all looks good. This all looks good across here. Look at how nice that is in here. This all looks really good. It's got a pad on the deal, and I think this has all been replaced there and stuff. And it's got a brand new gas tank in it. I mean, that was done after it was taken out. These have got to be factory holes. It might be a 64 and a half thing too. I don't know because I don't have anything to compare it with. Those holes are not in on the other ones, and you can see it's just a really clean, nice, straight car. I think you'll be really, really happy with this. It'd really be fun to own and take to shows. I mean, all this looks good. Oh, there's a little dimple in the paint sticks up there. Andrew didn't find that one, but he found these two right here. Other than that, this thing looks really good. The interior on this car, it's beautiful. You know, and I looked at the steering wheel on here, and I asked Andrew, I said, did we put a new steering wheel on here? Because it looks brand new. I mean, I don't see any cracks or anything in it. It all looks real nice. You know, on an old one, a lot of times you'll see pitting. But again, you got to remember, this car was kept in one of those igloo things, so that may have made a difference on it. You can see the dash is beautiful across there. It's got an aftermarket Mustang radio in there, and the glove box all looks good. This dash pad up here, though, looks great. I mean, it just looks super nice there. And, of course, the visors all look good. This underside piece of chrome here looks really nice. And I look at the seats, really good. Now, it's got seat belts in it, too, which you don't see very often. And then we have this spot in the seat right here that's got a little issue in it. And I thought about replacing this piece because I could get a new base and have it installed on there. It could be, you know, they could have this upholstery shop could replace this. I mean, the base on this thing doesn't cost much. Maybe it costs a couple $100 to do that. But this car is so nice and so original, I wanted to leave it that way. Now, you know, I mean, there's a little bit of pitting in this cast piece here on these Mustangs. It likes to do that anyway, so it looks pretty standard. But you can see that it's all nice. The carpets are real nice in here. I mean, look underneath this floor mat. They look like new underneath there. I mean, this car is this is not your average Mustang by any matter of means. The back here, it all looks really good too. I mean, I'm amazed how nice all this is. This boot looks like it's brand new, and it may be. I mean, it just looks great. I looked in this ashtray right here, you know, and it looks really nice. It doesn't look like it's ever even been used in there. Now, I didn't roll up this window like I should have, so let's roll it up right now. You can see it works good. And this one is nice on here compared to that one over there. So that all works good. I think you'd be real happy with the condition of this Mustang. This is another thing. It may be only 64 and a half also. Day and night mirror. So you push that down and change the angle on it. This is the way the 64 and a half Mustangs were. You could actually take these out probably pretty easy, but it was an eye bolt like that. Now in the console here, you have a little storage area right here. You can see it's really nice and clean in there. See the door sills, they look good. They show marks where feet gone in and out of them. And this extra piece right here, that's an added aftermarket piece there, that extra piece of chrome. There's a tag on here that Motorcraft, where they changed the oil August 5th, 1987. So you can tell nothing's been done on this car for a lot of years. You can see that it has not been licensed in 1994. Again, it's been in storage all these years. This door panel, I mean, this all looks good. You know, I can see a little wear on here. I mean, that's original as far as I can see. This, I mean, this looks like this is new. There's a little spot right there, but nothing too much. This all looks good. Everything looks good on here, all along here. Now, this door panel on here looks beautiful. We got a couple of little spots there. Another thing, 64.5. That's the only year they used these big knobs like this. So again, this thing looks nice. It may have been replaced at some time or other. It looks really nice. All this looks real good along here. The door handles look really nice and everything. I mean, look how clean it is inside the door jambs there and stuff. And you can follow it down here. We've got the chrome sills in here that you can see, which this is an aftermarket item. It's not stock. So, but you can just see this is just a really nice Mustang. Now you can see the gas gauge going up and everything. Shows 28,915 miles on here. I assume it's 128,000, I don't know. We haven't run this much, so the temperature gauge is not showing a whole lot. The heater, this is another thing that's a little different. This heater, this side, this is off, and this is low over there. And these controls all work nice. So that all works good. I haven't played with the radio, the glove box right there, or glove box, I mean the ashtray.
Electricity to San Francisco.
The governor of the city council.
You can see the radio works.
State of emergency, not just a free.
And it's got different buttons on here, and it's also a cassette player, so that all works good. And the glove box looks real good in there. I mean, nothing fancy. I'm going to turn on the lights for you here. Park lights, headlights, high beam, low beam, turn signal, left turn signal, right turn signal. And the wipers, it's neat. It's got 2-speed wipers on it. That's pretty slick. The horn does not honk. I don't know why. They're there. I mean, maybe they don't work. It's more important that it has the 64.5 horns on it than whether they work or not. If you're going to show this car. Tail lights, brake lights, left turn, right turn, backup lights. Now I want to show you this red top and how it works and everything, so I have to take this boot off. I never take them totally off. I always leave them in this track right here. This also has the pads, which you don't always find. This is all real nice in here. So anyway, first thing we got to do is get this boot out of the way. Top hasn't been up for a while, so it might be a little tight going. Oops, better take care of that. So this has the power top on it. So all you have to do is reach underneath here and pull this top, and this comes up. And you can see, I want to show you this framework too while we're at it. Anyway, we'll show it to you. You can see how nice it is. The back window is not zipped up, but you can see that the window is good. I mean, it's all real nice. It's just the way we got it. We haven't zipped it up or anything else. So anyway, we're just leaving it down there. Isn't this a neat color top to go with this car? It really looks good. And of course, it just clamps on up here. You got your clamps underneath here to clamp it on and stuff. So now to put it back down, you just unclamp it, which we didn't do. And the top goes down just fine, and and all you have to do is put the boot back on and you're ready to go. You have to admit, it's a beautiful engine compartment. When Frank picked this car up from being in storage all of these years and stuff, one of the things he did was put a brand new gas tank in it, and he put new wheel cylinders on and a new master cylinder, so that's all good. Make sure it was all very drivable, and everything looks good in here, except I want to show you on this one spot. I have looked at this car and I've looked at this car, and I hardly find any spots in it, but there's a patch right here, and this piece underneath here where the drain vent would be is filled in. It's the only thing I've found on this car. There may be something else, but I sure haven't found anything. This is the stock style exhaust system, the way it would come in 1964 with a single exhaust, your muffler being up here, and it'd come back in this resonator and then go out. And that's the stock setup. You can see the rear end is here. This is not a restored car. It may look like it. And underneath here, I've seen enough telltale from white overspray to know that it's been repainted. I really didn't think that this car had been repainted until I got underneath here and looked at the underside, because they really did a good job, and I have no idea when it was done. Floor pans under here, everywhere I look on the floor pans and all real good. This is the worst spot in here, and it just surfaces, all that is. I mean, Andrew thought that was the worst spot, but I mean, this is all just original. It's not been played with or done anything with. It all looks good and solid. The underside here going forward looks good. We've got the plate in here. All this is good and solid. There's no signs of rust or anything, but you can see the overspray here. In fact, you can see here where it's gray right here and white here. So they did a good job painting, so they must have been down here getting it. Both sides are the same way. A lot of times painters, they get down to the bottom and they get lazy. This guy didn't, but it's nice if he would have taped it off or something. But again, it's not a restored car. It's just an absolutely stunningly beautiful car. This is a prime example. You can see how white it is here for when they painted it, and it's white on this outside edge of the frame here, and as you come here, then it's nice and gray, and all this is just original and nice. Same on both sides. It does the same thing, and you can see how clean and nice this is. So this car has had a good life its whole life. The drain vents, all four of them are real good. They're just like this. They haven't been played with, dented, filled in, or anything. And of course, you see these marks here. These are weld marks from the factory where they weld this, spot weld the bodies, the floor, and the outside rocker together. The other thing I always look for on these Mustangs to see how nice they are is see if this number's in here. See, 3232A, and there's a 76 right there. And you can see there's marks, spot weld marks there too. This, if it's ever played with, you know, rust and bond odor or anything, this is gone. That's never there. Here's the bottom of your C4 automatic transmission right here. I see a brand new piece in here. We did not do that. Anyway, it's a new piece in there. Everything again, all the floor pans through here, all looks real good. You can see we got power steering on here. This is the underside of the power steering setup, and this is the bottom of the 260 right here. And of course, all this looks real good shape, and everything looks decent. Everything looks good all the way up through here, everywhere. So I think you find that this thing is an outstanding car that really has never been restored, but it's been painted once. Now there's the original tag on this Mustang right there. You don't see that too often on the rear end. Now we didn't spend any time cleaning underneath here. I'm sure we could have got all this growth off here. And you can kind of see the original red, factory red, and then also this marking right here in crayon or whatever it is, or paint, I don't know, from the factory. It's an original car. It's what it is. Now, the VIN is right here as you see it, and it's in the correct spot, and it's good. This is the warranty tag. It is not a VIN tag. A lot of people think it is a VIN tag, but the correct VIN number is on the inner fender well underneath the hood on a Mustang. This is a warranty tag, so the VIN number is on here, but it also gives you the model, the color, the exterior, the interior, the date it was built, the district code, axle, and transmission on there. Now, this tag on this particular car has been off. Now, I believe when they painted this car, they took the warranty tag off and put a new one on, because this thing's too nice. There's no scratches on it or anything. When I first looked at it, I had taken a picture of it. It was kind of dark, and it looked just fine. But I have since looked at it, and I know that it's been replaced. And I wanted to point that out on this car. We're going up onto I-5 now, northbound. This gives you a good chance to see this Mustang going down the freeway. Now step on a little bit. You can see it go down the freeway. This Mustang runs and drives so nice, it's just really hard to believe. I'm not sure if this is a car you want to collect and or own and drive. It's such a nice car. Really, really hard to find them this nice. Now you get a chance to see this Mustang from the passenger side. And it's just as pretty on the passenger side as it is on the driver's side. And it just runs and drives so nice. Hard to believe. I hope you enjoyed this drive. It gives you an idea how well it does and everything. Goes through these corners really nice too. It's a good handling little car. We're back to Drager's Clubhouse, and I hope you enjoyed the drive. It's around 6 miles by the time we go out to the freeway and come back from the freeway, so it gives you a good chance to see this car going down the freeway and even in traffic in town. If you're at all interested in a Mustang convertible, we have a lot of Mustangs all the time, or at least we try to. Give us a call, 206-533-9600.
I'm Andrew Drager, and if you have any questions about this vehicle, please don't hesitate to call or email us.
I'm Jerry Drager, and we're a father-son team, and we hope you enjoyed the video and understand that we really try really hard to go over the vehicle with this video to show you everything. Doesn't mean that I get every single spot or anything else, but I try, and Andrew and I both work really hard to make sure the vehicles are in top shape before they leave here. You got any questions, always give us a call or email us. We'd be more than happy to talk to you. We really invite you to come see them. And if you can't, you should have them inspected. I think it's really important to make sure you understand what you're buying.